this episode of Fact Files, we examine evidence that refutes the popular belief that Zambia has over 72 tribes. Zambia, often referred to as the real Africa, has a wide cultural diversity that is said to include over 70 tribes. In modern times, these so-called tribes re-emphasize their traditions through music and dance at colorful annual ceremonies, as well as other social gatherings such as weddings and funerals. So does Zambia indeed have over 72 distinct tribes? Or is the tribe, as argued by some, an invention imposed by external forces, and one which over the years has been reinforced with imaginative meaning? To be sure, the concept of tribal society is one of the most prominent and popular anthropological notions of our time. Yet, within the Western social and cultural anthropology, it has been largely abandoned as a sociological category. Although the origin of the word was rooted in ancient Roman tradition, the modern concept of tribe, as used in Zambia, emerged in the era of Euro-American colonial expansion. And the word tribe soon became the standard term for the social units of peoples considered primitive by the colonists, and for those thought to be uncivilized in the historical accounts of antiquity. The word tribe itself is derived from the Latin term tribus, the administrative divisions and voting units of ancient Rome. Tribe came to be used in biblical texts for the 13 divisions of the early Israelites and appears with this meaning in Middle English in the 13th century. However, by the 16th century, it was being applied to non-biblical contexts in ways that resembled concepts such as race and lineage. Furthermore, the notion of tribe took on a very particular role in the era of colonial expansion. Colonial rule powerfully institutionalized the term tribe as an administrative category throughout much of the colonized world, and especially in Africa. In British Africa, including northern Rhodesia, such tribes became indispensable features of indirect rule. Under this system, local rulers were maintained and sometimes installed as chiefs of their respective tribes under colonial oversight and regulation. In the post-colonial era, anthropologists became increasingly critical of the legacy of colonial ideology and its terminology. Historical examination quickly revealed the ways in which many tribes had been constructed in the colonial era. More often than not, the very names of some of these tribes were vague terms used by outsiders that later became institutionalized in administrative categories. In the northwestern northern Rhodesia, two groups of people who were continually contrasted were the Kaonde and the Luvale and Chokwe people. Despite the groups differing mainly in terms of agricultural systems organized around different staples, for the Kaonde sorghum and for the Luvale and Chokwe cassava, the tribal stereotypes used in the district notebooks and other official documents go far beyond any simple difference in cultivation practices to create very distinct tribal groupings. As one colonial official in northern Rhodesia remarked,
"The tribe is at once the only bulwark we have against anarchy, and the only foundation on which to build progress in local government."
By and large, for British colonial administrators in sub-Saharan Africa, the central concept in which this notion of difference was gathered together was that of the tribe. The basic unit of rural society was the tribe, and tribes were the primary actors in rural life. So there you have it. It's a fact. Many among the so-called 72 tribes in Zambia are not actual social organizations, but rather colonial constructions that simply refer to people speaking similar dialects.